It is 3 in the morning. The National Hurricane Center has just updated the forecast. The storm is no longer drifting. It has locked. And for the first time in over a century, its track runs directly up Tampa Bay. In 18 hours, a wall of water taller than a 2-story house is going to arrive. Not a wave, not a tide, a wall. Moving inland at the speed of a freight train, filling every street, every parking lot, every neighborhood that was built at sea level because someone decided that was fine. The phones are lighting up across 3 million households in the dark. Evacuation orders are being issued. And the roads that were supposed to carry those 3 million people to safety are already turning into a parking lot that stretches for 50 miles in every direction. This is not a hypothetical. This is not a worst-case creative exercise. This is what Tampa Bay's own emergency management models have been projecting for years. The simulations have been run. The numbers have been published. And right now, in the spring of 2026, with NOAA already warning that this hurricane season could be above average and Gulf waters running warmer than they should, the window to act is not closing. It is already closed. Here is what makes Tampa Bay different from every other hurricane story you have ever heard. Scientists do not say Tampa might get hit. They say Tampa Bay is the single most vulnerable major city in the entire United States to storm surge flooding from a hurricane. A catastrophe. Modeling firm concluded that a direct strike could cause $175 billion in damage. And yet, in the weeks since Hurricane Milton and Hurricane Helene shook this region in 2024, the waterfront towers are still going up. The insurance companies are still pulling out. And the city is still debating whether a flood control project on a single street in South Tampa needs a Plan B. Not a plan. A Plan B. Let that sink in. Tampa Bay looks like paradise. It always has. Warm water, long sunsets, miles of coastline that pulled millions of people here over decades of migration, retirement, and ambition. But underneath that picture-perfect surface is a geographic trap that was here long before the first tower broke ground, and it has been tightening ever since. Start with the shape of the bay. Tampa Bay is not wide and open. It is narrow, funnel-shaped, a giant natural bowl with one end pointed directly at the Gulf of Mexico. When a hurricane pushes water toward that opening, the bay does not spread it out. It concentrates it. The water squeezes into that funnel and accelerates, turning what might have been manageable flooding somewhere else into a catastrophic surge here. The physics are not subtle. They are not debatable. They have been known for generations. Then there is the depth. Tampa Bay averages just 12 feet deep. Shallow water does not absorb surge energy the way deep water does. It transfers that energy directly onto the shore. Picture filling a shallow dinner plate with water and tipping it slightly. Everything spills instantly in one direction. That is Tampa Bay during a major hurricane. And the land. Large portions of the Tampa Bay metropolitan area sit at or near sea level, not slightly above it. At it. Entire neighborhoods barely clear the waterline on a calm day. Add 12 feet of storm surge from a Category 3. Add another 10 feet for a Category 5 on a direct track. Then ask yourself where that water goes. The answer is everywhere. NOAA models project that a worst-case storm striking Tampa Bay could destroy up to 1.5 million buildings and cause $175 billion in damage. That is more than the annual economic output of most countries, wiped out in a matter of hours. Tampa General Hospital, the region's primary trauma center, sits on Davis Islands, surrounded by water, connected to the mainland by bridges projected to flood and fail before the storm even makes landfall. The facility that people would rush toward in a mass casualty event is precisely the one the surge would isolate first. But here is what nobody told you. The geography is only half of this story. The last time a major hurricane made a direct strike on Tampa Bay was 1921, more than 100 years ago. Before commercial air travel, before the interstate system, before anyone had the concept of a metropolitan area holding 3 million people, built on a low-lying coastline, connected to each other, and to escape by roads that were never designed to carry this much weight. Tampa in 1921 had roughly 50,000 people. A devastating storm was survivable at that scale. Today's Tampa Bay is not the same city in any meaningful sense. But somewhere in the collective memory of this region, that century of survival became a story people told themselves without examining what it actually meant. Near-miss bias. Scientists have a name for it. When something almost happens and does not, the brain does not register it as a narrow escape. It registers it as proof of safety. Every hurricane that curved north at the last second, every storm that weakened before arrival, every season that ended without a direct strike, each one quietly reinforced the illusion. Not that Tampa was fortunate, that Tampa was protected. It was never protected, it was lucky. And luck is not a building code. Close your eyes and picture the day it actually happens. The real estate industry looked at a century of luck and saw a marketing opportunity. Waterfront condominiums, bay view towers, luxury developments built right to the water's edge, inside the surge zones that emergency managers color in the deepest, most dangerous red on their maps. The construction did not slow after Hurricane Helene flooded the region in 2024. It did not slow after Milton followed 2 weeks later and demonstrated exactly what compound flooding looks like when a storm does not even make direct landfall. The cranes kept moving. The permits kept coming. Close your eyes and picture the day it actually happens. The evacuation order goes out in the middle of the night. 3 million people receive the message simultaneously. And within 2 hours, every highway out of Tampa Bay is a parking lot. The math does not work. It never did. The roads were not built for this. The geography does not allow it. And for tens of thousands of residents, the order was never an option in the first place. No car, no money, nowhere to go. The surge does not check your bank account before it arrives. The private insurance market already did the math. Major carriers have walked away from Florida entirely. Premiums have jumped 42% since 2022. The market is panicking. The city is building. That is not a contradiction. It is a transfer of risk onto the people who can least afford to carry it. Tampa Bay has the surge maps. It has the simulations. It has the scientists and the planners and the evacuation models that fail on paper every single time. The information was never the problem. The will to act on it was. Every season that passes without a direct hit is not proof the risk was overstated. It is one fewer season standing between 3 million people and the moment their luck finally runs out. Not if, when. If this story made you realize the gap between a warning and a plan is exactly where lives are lost, grab your free disaster preparedness toolkit. The link is in the description.